Welcome back to Thursday Night Lineup. This week we're on Tuesday. We are into the second week of January here, and we're super excited to break down everything that happened in Championship Week. I lost in the playoffs. Noah lost in both of his championships. So although we don't have any hardware to showcase and any money to show for it at the end of the year, all the hard-earned work has gone out the window. All the gambling on these players week in and week out, in the sense that we're hoping that they can perform well for us. Well, it hasn't amounted to anything. All that said, Noah, how have you been? And are you excited to talk about fantasy football? And also just an end of year review.
Yes. I've been doing great. Just got back from Florida. That was a great holiday. Happy New Year to everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's last episode for Thursday Night Lineup. Until next year. This is crazy. But yeah, it's been
yeah. I mean, until
this NFL season's already been kind of wonky. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody expected it to end the way that it ended. The Eagles fell off the wagon. The Cowboys could not overcome that tough end of the year schedule, and some teams that we thought were going to do well, like the Chiefs dynasty, did not do well, and some teams that were, in the trenches and unexpected with new hires, with corny slogans like the Jacksonville Jaguars, are now in high season. Who would have expected it? But,
to be fair,
Duval. That's right. That was a good one.
To be fair about the Cowboys defense, though, we did fire Matt Eberflus. I'm so happy. Well, I've never been happier.
I don't know if that's going to fix much for you guys over there in Dallas. I would have expected Eberflus to go sooner than that, but it is definitely a start. I'm not going to say I wish you the best. I wish you guys the worst, but I'll be saying, good luck in the playoffs. Oh, you could wish me luck in the playoffs because we have made it in there.
I'm wishing you a first-round exit, dog.
That's how we're starting this week off, with a zinger, a stinger. So we don't have any Eagles or Cowboys players in the QB or in the running back section for the Booms from Championship Week. But as I mentioned, some of these players were important to you, were important to me the week before that in the playoffs, so we have to list them off nonetheless. King Henry showed up and showed out when they needed it 2 weeks ago. He delivered 45 points. King Henry actually had a somewhat underwhelming year, a lot of people would say, compared to years past. We think about the Titans days when he was running guys over and achieving 1,500, 1,600, 2,000. Whoa, yes, that's right. Yeah. He is a 2K rusher. King Henry, not so much there anymore, but he did deliver a bombshell performance a couple weeks ago. One of the league winners there right below him, Bijan Robinson. Now, you have him in the league winner section as well, but did you remind the people you get a chance to draft this guy at all this year?
I got him in the fourth league that I ended up joining because I had the 102, and I think the 101 went Jamar Chase, and I got Bijan at the 102.
And how'd that work out for you by the end of the year?
I mean, it's not fair because it was a 12-man league and a 4-man playoff, but I finished fifth. I finished fifth in that league, but Bijan was
you mentioned huge. You did mention that was the team that Bijan was on, but Bijan 39.9 a couple weeks ago. He was pretty good, and I think he's part of that S tier class running back that we talk about. There's a lot of these guys on this list in there. Chase Brown maybe not so much, but he kind of came together towards the end of the year. We saw a lot of production. So, Do you expect Chase Brown to continue with that next year?
I mean, he just had his first ever 1,000-yard rushing season, which is kind of crazy to say because I feel like he's had more. But I do think that he'll definitely keep this going for sure. There's no way because I mean that Bengals offense is always going to be good and it's always going to get better as all the players get older. But I do see a bright future for Chase Brown. It's just whether or not they'll give him the quality touches that they have been giving him at least the last 2 years. But yeah, I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
We have Zach Charbonnet and JCM. I think both of them will have bigger roles on whichever team they're. I mean, JCM's going to be with the Commanders. Charbonnet, if he stays with the Seahawks, which I believe he will, it's more so the question of if K9 will move or not. But I expect both of them to play pretty well. We'll talk about Swift a little bit later, as he kind of had a pretty good year. Going down to QB, Drake May, MVP, second favorite, right behind Matthew Stafford. The odds and the markets have Stafford over 60% right now. May sitting at like 30-something, 33, I think. 34 maybe. He had 32 points a couple weeks ago. Malik Willis had 32 points, stepping up with Jordan Love's injury, and Brock Purdy had a very big 36 points. Now, the Eagles will have to play Brock Purdy very soon. I'm not a big Jordan Love fan. I don't think that he's as great as everyone says he is. And Malik Willis proved a tough opponent for Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, and the Ravens, as he put up a big 32.44 points on the best performances of the last couple weeks. Obviously, Luther Burden is somebody that we have to mention, 27.8, best of the week. It was a slow week, but Olave and Brandon Cooks still did well. Also, two guys that have been banged up throughout their careers, but still producing towards the end. Michael Wilson, a huge pickup. I know you're going to talk about Michael Wilson a little bit, and Parker Washington, I liked. He played pretty well. Jalen McMillan stepping up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after being hurt all that time. He's finally back healthy. We'd love to see that. But I want to go back to a couple of these guys here. Luther Burden, we predicted specifically. I predicted. I knew Luther Burden would be good. I told a couple of people to start him. Somebody did, and he came up big for him in the chip. Olave, one of the guys that really came on late this year and has helped Tyler Shuck in New Orleans. Maybe all of a sudden they're not worried about a quarterback. You know, it's when you build that bond with your rookie QB and your vet wide receiver. Olave's not a vet, but he's been in the league. He's been hurt, and he's had to deal with a lot. So, you know, we moved down to Michael Wilson and Parker Washington. Please speak about the greatness of one of these guys, if not both, because I know you picked up some of these guys in your leagues.
Well, you made me pick up P-Wash.
Yeah.
And he was what originally just their kick returner at the time?
He was
their
Washington's been a weird one for the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence has always liked him, but he was just doing like special team stuff.
Punt return, kickoff return and stuff. But it's like for him it was like the week that BTJ went down and it was like they had no receivers, it was just him. He like blew up like twice. And then he just kind of like forgot how to play receiver.
Well, it wasn't getting the targets.
Well, it was just he wasn't getting the targets he was in the first two games, and then all of a sudden these last like 2 weeks or 3 weeks he's back to getting the same targets. So I don't know, because I don't know what they're going to do with BTJ because they just re-signed Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, they like him.
They gave him the extension. I think they're starting to be worrisome of BTJ. They might shop him. They might trade him. Maybe get his value, sell him high. They know Parker Washington can play well, so I don't know.
BTJ, I don't know about sell high. Maybe sell him while he still
has value.
Playing. Yeah, has value. Yeah, because, I mean, he really did go from one of the most promising young wide receiver prospects in the league to somebody that I'm definitely not drafting next year, dude. He did me so dirty this year. A lot of people took him in the first 2 rounds. I won't say how early, but, you know.
I fell trapped to that in one of my leagues. I won't lie.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it. So we moved to the tight end position here a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. We had a couple big performances, including Trey McBride and Colston Loveland, 2 breakouts this year. We expect a Trey McBride, maybe not to this magnitude, but he was an absolute animal this year. Colston Loveland did play good. Also, play well, I should say. Also, Trey McBride, 23 points, and Colston Loveland, 21 points. I like both of them moving forward for their teams. They should be getting contracts. Colston Loveland will only progress. I think the future of the tight end position is in good hands with him and Brock Bowers and some other guys throughout the league. So we move away from the big-time performers, the guys that were, scoring big points in playoffs and championship week, to the guys that were on my team. Just kidding. Just kidding. These are the busts. And as Noah has mentioned here on the document, this is not the week for receivers. We'll start with the tight ends again once more. We'll start where we left off. Kyle Pitts played well this year, didn't play well this year, all of a sudden played really well this year, and then when people needed him most, 3.6, man. Come on, that's one catch, basically. What
That's
happened
a
to Kyle
fantasy
Pitts?
loser right there. That's a championship loser right there.
You think this is a guy that's going to be good next year or no?
Dude, there's this conversation every year about is Kyle Pitts going to live up?
No closure after the season.
No closure at all. No way. Kyle Pitts, will he be good? Will he be bad? We have no clue.
He's the X doesn't go away. Kyle Pitts. That's why I don't draft him. I don't want to deal with it.
He's an emotion.
My tight end position is way more sturdy. Way more sturdy. So good that I didn't even make it to the championship. That's right. Jalen Naylor, Xavier Worthy, both go for it. That's right. Jalen Waddle, who had a decent season with 900 yards, ended up with 0.7 as well. Drake London couldn't pull it together. I think there's something wrong with that knee, and he was playing through it. Ted McMillan, bam, strap city. Tedaro McMillan couldn't get anything done, although he did play well last week. 2 weeks ago, he's not the week. And DJ Moore, do you have anything you want to say about DJ Moore? I know you've said a lot this year.
I don't need to say anymore. No more. I don't think I need to say anymore.
What about this guy, Ladd McConkey? Because we have Herbert performing well, but he's spreading the ball out a lot. There wasn't really one guy that Quentin Johnson had a really good couple of weeks, but, I mean, what do you think about Ladd McConkey as far as the Chargers offense and his role?
I definitely fell trapped. Well, not trapped, but I definitely drafted him, I think, in 2 of the 4 leagues.
Yeah.
I thought after the end of the 2024-25 season that he had, that he was going to be like their top guy, their most looked at target.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Herbert's like, nah, I'm going to throw it to everybody. And I was like, are you kidding me? But Ladd McConkey's always been a good receiver in the end. He's, a little undersized, but he's quick. So he gets away with it. But
he's scrappy, high IQ, right? Is that what you were going to say?
I was getting there. Herbert.
It's all those versatile.
Yeah,
gets his hands dirty.
It's all up to Herbert in the end, though. Yeah. He wants to target that day, so we're limited.
He's talented. He's kind of in that tier. A lot of people put him in that tier of like great quarterback. They put him up there with talent-wise. They put him up there with. Yeah, I'll say it. They put him with like Mahomes, Allen. Like they want to say that he's as good, or he's like a top 5 quarterback, almost right there, or he's on the ladder, moving up. I don't really think he is. I think he's closer to a Jordan Love than he is to a like a Mahomes, Allen, or Joe Burrow.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's got to prove he's here. Look, let's see
if he wins this playoff game against the Patriots.
Let's see where they're at right here. They're at 7 against a number 2 Drake May, and it's going to be cold out there. So this is a big test. This is a big test for him.
If he can win this game, he's a top 5 quarterback.
On the stage last year, the Texans defense humiliated him. Now they've done that to a lot of people this year. Herbert, man, for all you Chargers fans out there. I'm happy with Jalen Hurts, baby. I'm sticking with my guy, and they're calling that bias. But I know you're sticking with Dak, so it's like...
I have no issues with Dak. I've really never had any issues with Dak.
So there you go. So we'll move down from the wide receiver position just because there's so many people in there. We'll go to the other QBs besides Justin Herbert. My guy Hurts. 8.9 was not big for people in the playoffs because he kind of fell off the wagon towards the end of the season. The Patulo-led offense looks like the Papupo-led offense. It's been brutal, Noah. It's just they don't look like they're trying out there. And then when it comes to offense, it's Patulo, and it's a nightmare. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to need a lot of momentum against the Niners because everything's going to fall apart in the second half.
You got to get up early, quick.
Yeah. Even you know that. Yes,
and you got to use Saquon. If you can get Saquon going, you're winning that game.
If Saquon finishes with not a lot of rushing yards going into that second half, we are
probably not winning.
Cooked.
Yeah.
We are cooked. Some other busts from last week, 2 weeks ago, I should say. The Bryce Young-led Panthers were in a very, very weird position as they got cheated out of the game against the Buccaneers, but then the Falcons send them into the playoffs, so they will be playing against the Matthew Stafford led Rams. I mean, that's going to be a quarterback duel if I've ever seen one.
It's going to be something.
I was anti Bryce Young the last couple of years because I didn't think that he had what it took to be an NFL quarterback. So we'll have to see if he does. I mean, look, man, he wasn't even like that great this year. He had a couple bad moments on the big stage, but everybody does. We're gonna have to see if the biggest stage yet, a big game in
Carolina. It's a home game.
Carolina. They're the home. Are they the 4?
They're the 4 seed, yeah.
And the Rams are the 5?
Yeah, because they won the South. The Rams did not.
Golly, that's fun. Why don't you lead us into the big running back busts from a couple weeks ago? Because I do really want to take a look at the money that's moving on that game in particular to see if I can bring any inside knowledge.
We'll move on to the running back position. I have most of these people, by the way. We'll start off with the big one. Josh Jacobs obviously was banged up already leading up to both these games. The week prior, though, he did go off for like 20 points. So I was like, this is going to be fine. Josh Jacobs did it last week. He'll do it again. Nope. 1.3 points from Josh Jacobs. And yeah, that was bad. I think I sat RJ Harvey for Josh Jacobs in one of my championships. I did sit him in the other one for George Pickens, but clearly that didn't matter either.
Yeah, Pickens was another guy that kind of similar to a couple of these running backs here that was kind of like a game changer all year, and then when you need him most, it's like...
I think he was just checked out once he realized our playoff chances were low. God forbid he wanted the money, but he's like, hey, I already have 1,400 receiving yards. Why do I need any more? You can still pay me. Yeah. But yeah, moving on. Another one that I drafted in the my Newman League, but it didn't matter. Jahmyr Gibbs, who is my bust of the week. I didn't give it to Josh Jacobs because he was already injured, so I should have saw it coming. But Jahmyr Gibbs fell off the face of the earth in the last 2 games of the season. 6.4 points 2 weeks ago. What do you think happened? Because, like, I don't...
Jahmyr Gibbs is a tough one. I think that people were really starting to key in on the lines. They were starting to figure them out. I think we have a similar situation going on there than we do. Similar situation going on there to the Eagles in the sense that bread and butter, Sirianni, Winslow, has been pulled apart. Now it's dry bread, and the butter is spread across a New Orleans style brioche bun. You know what I mean? So, and when you look at the Lions, you got the peanut butter Dan Campbell and the jelly of Ben Johnson. Well, now the jelly is going on some Chicago style toast, right? And it's also going to the playoffs. So, you know, you have one with the other, and when you take them apart, one is still really good with something else.
Yeah.
But the other by itself, it's not the same, man. Dry bread and peanut butter. Maybe Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni should have a baby. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. But speaking of Sirianni, Saquon's on this list too. But I mean, he's been on this list, I feel like, every other week because your offense cannot get him going. He only had 6.8 points in championship games.
Our line's been funky, man. Doesn't want to block for him.
Yeah, I feel like he's had 10 or less a lot this year. And I still think it's Madden curse. I'm going to say it. Madden curse. We're just going to scrap it up to a Madden curse, and he'll have 2,000 yards next year, right?
You're going to get him for a good price next year. Yeah.
K9. He's next. K9 or less. I've said this joke before, and I wrote it in again.
That was so funny when you broke that one for the first time.
Yeah. 7.7 points. That is less than 9. Zach Charbonnet obviously took over that game. I feel like it's one or the other, which is going to be weird to draft them next year. But what do you think the future holds for K9 or less?
I think he needs to get out of there. I think he should get his paycheck somewhere else. That's what I think K9 should do. Charbonnet has all the makings of a perfect RB1 in the modern NFL. He can catch the ball. He's a good blocker, and he'll run somebody over. Yeah, K9, great catching the ball. Sometimes he makes silly things where if the read's not there, his first step will go backwards to reassess. Not good, leads to a lot of TFLs. Won't really run people over as much as Charbonnet, although he has the ability. K9's a nasty runner. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I think Charbonnet, you know what you're going to get with him. He's going to run hard every single time. I think K9 sometimes will take a first step backwards if he doesn't see his hole open up that he's supposed to run through, and that could hurt him. I think he's going to explore free agency. He's going to get paid somewhere else. That's what I think is going to happen with K9, honestly, my honest opinion. So
we'll see. K9 is a very talented running back, so we will see where the future brings him. There are a lot of teams that could use a running back. So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity out there, although people are very scared to get a running back now, but we'll see. We'll just wrap up real quick. The running backs, we'll just say James Cook, Ashton Genty, down week. Just call it at that. I mean, it's been like that every so often. They're great running backs. It just happens. But, Owen, you want to talk about...
Genty hasn't had the help, dude. I feel bad for him. We talked about the Raiders a little bit already, but I mean, another talented back that is just on average like getting hit at -3 yards. You know, when he picks up the ball, before he can even move. I mean, it's hard for you to progress when that's happened to you all the time. But yeah,
you want to get into our recap for the year? We got to get to that now.
Yeah, let's break into the recap. We have some overperformers. We have some underperformers. We also have league winners and league losers. So a couple guys that maybe absolutely threw it for me this year, I'm definitely going to mention later on. And then after that, we can talk a little bit about best value draft picks, guys that you can draft next year, some rookies that played really well, maybe a little bit on the playoff picture too. But let's start off with the overperformers, underperformers.
Yes.
So some big overperformers for me this year, guys, that I really want to talk about. Caleb Williams at the quarterback position. I think that for me, I was not as high on Caleb Williams as everybody else was, but he finished 7 in passing yards this year, just 60 or so yards shy of 4,000. And he ended up throwing for, I have that number right here, 6th. He threw for 27, but, 6th and 7th in touchdowns and passing. Some beautiful numbers there from Caleb Williams. I believe that those numbers are only going to go up as he threw for only 7 interceptions, which is better than Lawrence, better than Dak Prescott, better than Drake May, better than Jared Goff, and better than Matthew Stafford, all in front of him. So Caleb Williams is definitely taking care of the ball a little bit better this year, but he scored well in fantasy, and he was a guy that I counted out before, and then I saw the light, and then Ben Johnson came into play, and he's my guy for quarter. Any quarterbacks stood out to you?
I think the two big ones, because as much as I'd like to say Dak, he does the same thing every year. He's just an average fantasy quarterback. He gets the job done. He gets you your points. So I probably won't talk about him. I want to say Matthew Stafford and Trevor Lawrence were the two that stood out the most to me. Matthew Stafford obviously having an MVP season. Nobody really talked about him. I don't really think he was drafted too much in many leagues. He was probably more waiver claim, if anything, like a post-draft. Ooh, I need a backup quarterback. I'm going to pick up Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
And then same thing for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, believe it or not, they won the South with the Texans coming out of nowhere as well. Trevor Lawrence had a great year, even though nobody thought the sunshine would do anything. But
you call him sunshine?
He figured it out. I mean, that I still don't believe in the Jags in the playoffs, but they could definitely prove me wrong. They've proved me wrong already this year with their new head coach. He kind of turned it around, and I don't know. I'd still be worried about it next year, but I mean, it's Trevor Lawrence. You never really know what you're going to get with him.
Passer rating for Trevor Lawrence is much better, though, at 91, just behind Dak, and Drake May was first in that one as well. So some of the passing stuff for Drake May really stands out, even though he didn't throw as many touchdowns as Mr. Stafford or Mr. Goff. I still think he still has a crack at the MVP.
I think he's going to win one eventually. It's just a matter of time.
If not now, he will, because he's an efficient QB. It's in the Patriot blood.
Yeah.
Moving on to the running back position, James Cook for me this year was my guy. Him and Rico Dowdle. two overperformers, two league winners. Both of these guys, if you played them when you were supposed to, Rico a couple times when he was falling off early and in the middle late. If you were switching him out, then you got better value. Good for you, but you couldn't avoid him for the stretch where he was very good. So for me, James Cook leading the league this year. I talked about Derrick Henry, the King, somehow getting 15, 16. He always gets there. Even though he didn't get to 2K this year, he still got it. James Cook got 1,600 yards. And as for touchdowns, he was fourth best in the league with 12. I'm looking here. JT had 18. That's just
He's up here too on this list.
James Cook averaging the most yards per game at 95, which is a lot. He also did have the most fumbles by far. He had 6 fumbles, which is just crazy. That's just really not good.
That's not it.
But yeah, man. I mean, there's a couple other guys who had like the least number of carries. H.N. Yeah, out of all these guys. Out of all these guys at the top up here, like out of all these guys in the top 10, top 11, top 12, it's H.N. with 238, and he still finishes with 1,350. So it's another guy I want to throw out there. H.N. finishing with a lot of yards this year, and getting 8 touchdowns. Could have had more. He gets some receiving as well. He's really good catching the ball. So H.N. is kind of like an unsung guy I want to talk about. Any running backs that stood out for you?
There are a couple, but I'm not going to get into any of them. The other 4 that are on this list, really. Chase Brown went off. He found his stride. Travis, and then 2 running backs that are like identical, but they're in 2 different conferences. Travis Etienne and DeAndre Swift. They are both on very similar teams. Obviously, again, Jacksonville surprised us. Chicago surprised us. And both these running backs showed for it. I know Kyle Monangai, he had his moment here and there, but Swift was really the real star. Etienne, he had a down year last year. He's playing well now. And then obviously my Cowboy, Javonte Williams, he was picked up in like 10th round of some drafts, and he exploded. I had no expectations for him this year, and he crushed all of them. So,
yeah, I didn't expect Javonte to have as good of a year as he did. So I think that's definitely I'm glad you threw him on there. I'm glad you brought him up because this guy flew under the radar. Moving to the wide receiver position, Parker Washington showed up. Michael Wilson definitely showed up. Alec Pierce showed up, getting 1,000 yards this year. Shout out to Alec Pierce.
He got to 1,000?
On the Colts. Yeah, he did. He cracked 1,000. Yeah, so that's good for him. Zay Flowers made the Pro Bowl we talked about. So he made it on there. But, for me, the big names this year, obviously JSN, and then obviously for you guys in Dallas, George Pickens.
Yeah.
It's a huge acquisition for you. Excuse me. And, moving forward, I'm going to hate having to deal with him because...
That's only if we re-sign him.
Well, I mean, you're going to. You did that because Jerry did that because he's got to play the Eagles, and that's like a weird strong suit in our team right now is cover corners. I mean, Quinion is freaking ridiculous this year. He's like 80-something targets, no touchdowns. So it's freak show level stuff. So you guys are going to have a big 2-headed demon with CD and George Pickens, I expect, moving forward. So that's a guy I want to talk about. And obviously JSN, unbelievable. So
best draft pick I've ever made right there, by the way.
Yeah, anybody else that stood out for you at the wide receiver spot?
Obviously Olave, because he's a target machine, even though he had Tyler Schott. Although I wanted to talk about him later, but he could be something. I wouldn't say special, but he could definitely. The Saints definitely probably don't have to worry about a quarterback right now because he played really well toward the end of the season. If Devontae Adams' hamstrings gets healthy, that guy is a touchdown merchant. That guy is a red zone target. He only finds the end zone, and he did that this year. How many did he end up having? I think it was, almost 15? 12, 15, something like that.
Devontae Adams.
He had a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up for you right now. I had all the numbers for the yards up. He had 14.
Yeah,
he had 14. Only finished with 789 yards. That's why I was scrolling so far. But he did have 14 touchdowns, so that's pretty big.
I mean, the touchdowns are really what matters. Receptions and touchdowns. The yards will come naturally. And that's why, like I said, Olave is so good because he's a target machine. So he's bound to get the catches, and then those will translate to the yards because he is a very good wide receiver. There's one more. Jameson Williams. Yes, I want to talk about J-Mo. J-Mo, he found his stride as the wide receiver too in Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a little here and there with the health, but I mean, J-Mo filled the role really well. I mean, he blew up. He blew up, and I think he's going to be drafted a lot higher next year for sure.
Puka Nacua as well. I'm looking here. Puka Nacua finishing with 129 yards, better than the 126 from Trey McBride at the tight end position. Trey McBride's a beast. 11 touchdowns. Also 11 from my boy Dallas Goedert. So those are the two guys I wanted to throw out there. I can't help but notice you don't have Dallas Goedert on here. The hate is real. I don't know how you put together a list for tight ends and put Jake Ferguson and not Dallas Goedert.
I forgot about Goedert.
Go to the touchdown list. Goedert's got 11. Where's Ferguson? All the way down here at 8. And we go to the yards. Goedert with 591. Ferguson had 9 more. How about the receptions, though? Goedert with 60. Ferguson with, oh my gosh, he had so many. What the heck? Wow. He was farming it.
Dak would just check it down to him whenever he didn't like it.
He
didn't like it. He just,
dude. Yeah. Well,
I totally forgot about Goedert.
I mean, we drew up a funky little pitch play to him, so now he gets touchdowns off of that too. But somebody I want to talk about from the tight end position is Harold Fannin. I love Harold Fannin. He plays super hard. He's come down with some crazy catches this year. Yeah. He's gonna have a fun rookie highlight reel tape for the Browns. A shining star in the stinky Brown offense for sure. Harold Fannin is. I don't think they have much going for him, but they got this athletic young tight end. So
yeah, he definitely will replace Njoku, which is who we'll get to in the underperformers. But
yeah, man, let's get to it.
Let's just go to it.
Time. A couple of the QBs that you have here: Baker Mayfield, after a super hot start,
MVP chance too.
Did end up falling off. I can't help but say Justin Fields as well. A guy that everybody was like, "Oh, I want to believe in Justin Fields." Man, he was terrible. He got benched very, very quickly, and some couple injury, couple guys on there because of injuries. Man, Lamar Jackson could not quite stay healthy and put it together.
No.
Eventually, we heard that Ravens head coach Harbaugh had lost the locker room, then he got fired. So now he's fired. He's not even the Ravens head coach anymore. I don't know why I refer to him as that, but during the season he was losing the locker room. He was losing the connection with Lamar, and so he doesn't really get it done at the quarterback position. I really want to talk about these running backs though, man. Bucky Irving had a weird injury. First it was the ankle, then it was the shoulder. Told everybody, stay away from this guy, maybe even cut him because it's a weird situation. He's not going to be back. I was right. It took him forever to come back. He was okay when he did come back, but
around I think almost 2 20-point games before the championship when he had like 8. But
yeah, Bucky next year could be a really, really good pickup if you get him later in the draft. But some of these other guys like Tony Pollard, don't even bother. You know what I mean? Ramondre Stevenson, JCM, you could get next year. Unfortunately, he's a letdown this year. Showed up later in the season. It takes rookie running backs forever to develop, though. Everybody knows that. Alvin Kamara, just hang it up, bro. Aaron Jones Sr., much of the same story there. Another guy that was battling injuries and is now just older. So at the running back position, I mean, there's just so much going wrong this year. I mean, even Jonathan Taylor ended up falling off. He was insane, and then he couldn't get into the end zone for a while after the Daniel Jones injury. So
I would even say Saquon, but like at the same time, it's not like he played bad.
Bro, you can throw Saquon in there as for the expectations, yeah.
Expectations wise, he didn't didn't have like a bad season, but he had a very worse season than last year. So he's, underperformed, I guess. But I'm sure people will still draft Saquon in like the late first, early second round next year, anyways, because it's Saquon Barkley. So
yeah, it's all you got Devontae Smith on here.
Of course, I do.
He went for 1,000 yards.
Did he really? I didn't think he. Huh?
Only 4 tutties this year. Yeah.
It's the touchdowns. I don't know. It felt like I was either getting a explosive game out of him in my league, or he didn't do anything. So, from what I've seen, that was an underperformance from me. But the stats clearly proved me wrong. But
you have CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's on here.
I was going to say, bro, he had the same year. He better be on here.
CD's right there. CD's underneath. CD had same concept.
I swear.
Barely broke 1,000 yards, but he definitely probably should have had more. But the injuries kind of held him back. Didn't have many touchdowns. It's all the same story.
Us Eagles fans, we protect Devontae Smith like he's like a baby or something.
I drafted him for a reason. There's a reason I picked him up because I thought he'd be a great wide receiver too.
He a dog, man. He a dog.
When he gets his targets, he's a dog. Don't get me wrong.
Same thing with Cedarian, man. Same thing with Cedarian.
Yeah.
His targets, he's a dog. The whole Chargers receiving core, they were very mediocre. We stayed away from them. And the guy up top, man, Justin Jefferson, the first name on the list for underperforming wide receivers. What is going on? They can't. I mean, 9 is looking more like 1. He looks like stinky. You know, I mean, you can't get the ball to Justin Jefferson. So what are we expecting next year? Is he drafted still very, very high or no?
I feel like people are going to be hesitant on him, but it's still Justin Jefferson at the end of the day. I think a lot of people that draft Jefferson next year are going to be like, "Oh, it's okay. He's just a rookie. He will develop eventually. They're going to build a relationship." I just don't see it. I really don't.
He didn't look. You can't even tell me that Jennings looked enthusiastic out there towards the end of the season in those games. He didn't look like he was buying into it like the coaches wanted him to.
And then even when he got the targets and the pass was actually accurate, he dropped it. He would drop it. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what the Vikings do in their draft this year. They have like a mid-round pick, so we'll see who they decide to go with. But if they try and stick with 9, I'd be very hesitant on picking Justin Jefferson up next year. I mean, if he's still there in like the late second, maybe even early third, if people are really that hesitant, you might as well get him because you never know what he's going to do. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. Talent-wise, he's one of the best, if not the best. I still think now Jamar Chase is the best because of what he did with his backup versus Justin Jefferson, but that's a different conversation. That has nothing to do with fantasy. So
Jamar Chase is definitely number 1 right now. You got some other guys on here. Tyreek Hill cut short with an injury. Terry McLaurin started funny and then got injured. You know, there's a couple guys that I wish I didn't draft on here. Like Jacoby Myers didn't get hot till the end of the year with the Jags. So, you know, maybe he has something going for him moving forward. But some other underperformers would be like BTJ, Jerry Jeudy, Cooper Kupp, and then other guys that didn't see the field like Ricky Pearsall, guys that never really got their chance. So maybe you take a chance on one of them next year, maybe Pearsall. But steer clear of the other ones. Steer clear Tuna. Head for open waters.
You're clear of DJ Moore, that's for sure.
Do you know the reference there or no? Do you know that reference or no?
I didn't. I don't think I really heard it, but
still. Man, it's The Office, brother.
I never watched it. It got taken off of Netflix before I could watch it.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Office. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I do love it, though. So at the tight end position, some other letdowns. Mark Andrews, I'm so happy they paid him. And then they fired their coach. That's just like this guy's head is probably spinning right now. But he's got the money, so who cares? Njoku was a letdown. Cole Kmet was overtaken by Colston Loveland. Tucker Kraft's injury overtaken by Musgrave. Kincaid and Knox. I think Dalton Kincaid next year will be promising this year. If he's not staying on the field and the touches are going to Knox, then it's tough for you to call him a valuable tight end. But this guy at the bottom here, I definitely want to talk about. Cade Otton. What happened to him this year?
I don't know. I drafted him as a backup tight end in one of my leagues. So I was like, ooh, Baker will give him the ball. He seems very promising. I mean, he played well last week, but that's one of the only few times I can think of where he actually did something. He was kind of just there. To be fair, Baker did struggle, so it's hard when your quarterback struggles for you to get the football. But I mean, I was high on Cade Otton, and then all of a sudden he was just like, poof. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely in with some of the league losers, some other guys that we want to throw in there for league losers. If you drafted an Arizona running back, if you drafted Cam Scatterbo, if you put your chips in the TJ Hawkinson basket at tight end, if you did any of those things, even Marvin Harrison Jr. was difficult to deal with at times this year. We are sorry. However, some of the league winners, this is a great list here. I mean, from top to bottom, I'm definitely going to pick off some of my favorites here. Trey McBride at the tight end, it doesn't get much better than that. Puka Nacua at the wide receiver position, and JSN, who could win Offensive Player of the Year. Does not get better than that. JT's run was immaculate, and CMC. Is unbelievable. It looks like he can go for 1K every single year.
Yeah.
Olave has come on. He was unbelievable. I'm super happy with Olave's production. Another Ohio State wide receiver that is going to continue to be great in the NFL. Those are some of my big-time league winners. At the quarterback position, obviously, Josh Allen until the championship where he did not do much. He scored 8 points when I needed him. So,
and then Drake May. Drake May. A lot of people were.
Yeah, dude. He was 40-something in the final game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns. That was disgusting. But I know a lot of people were very high on him. They were like, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to draft him. He's going to go off. Trust me." And then they were right. I know a couple people that I knew that drafted him, and they were like, "Trust me, you got to trust me on this one." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see." And there he goes, bang, second in MVP voting, just like that. He might be in he might be in drafts where people draft him like 5th round, with like the Burrows and the. Really just the Burrow.
Dude, Trey McBride is going to go so early. I love that guy. All right. He's such a league winner. I mean, I had him last year, and I didn't draft him this year, and the kid that did was just bragging about him.
There's one person. There's a couple people at the end of this list. We talked about Michael Wilson. We'll get to him.
Yeah.
Emeka Egbuka, we'll get to him too. He was definitely an early league winner to get you those bonus wins before he got injured. And then even in special teams and defense, Brandon Aubrey is basically automatic for the most part. He is going to get you at least 8 points or more every time the Cowboys step on the field because they don't love to find the end zone. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, he played well with the Chargers. He's automatic.
With the Chargers. Yeah.
Cam Little's automatic, and I can see him making a 70-yarder for the win at some point in his career.
Fairbairn was good too.
Defensively, if you either had Seattle, Texans, or Broncos defense, you are grinning ear to ear because those were the top 3 defenses in the NFL, and they got a bunch of turnovers. And I mean, they were just machines this year. They were just locked down.
I think that having a really, really good defense is extremely underrated because when you're not having to worry about the waiver claims and matchups every single week, like when I had the Cowboys defense a couple years ago, and they were scoring like 20 every week, that was unbelievable. That was such a good defense to have. It's another player basically. It's just more points. So, some of the best value draft picks from this year. Best value award will probably go to either Javonte or JSN. I'll let you give it out.
I think it goes to JSN because I know a lot of people like me. I got him in like the 3rd and 4th round, and I know that seems early, but that's still like a Jameer Gibbs, a Bucky Irving, AJ Brown. So
for me, I'm throwing James Cook's hat into the ring as well.
I got him in the 2nd round.
I got him in the 3rd round. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm surprised JSN fell to me at 3 because I thought a lot of people would be more high on him. I was like, did you see what Sam Darnold did with Justin Jefferson?
Dude, so sometimes these guys will, like JSN, there's no competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like James Cook, there's no competition for that position.
Exactly.
Chase Brown, there's no competition for that position. These guys slide every year. But it's like you have to look at guys like that will slide every year, but it's like you have to look at like it's not just the talent of the player; they will be a number 1 option at all times.
Yeah, look at the depth chart. We have what Rashid Shaheed was on that list. Cooper Kupp was on that list. Those are the guys under JSN, and JSN was getting force fed like 15 targets a game because Cooper Kupp fell off. And JSN was like, "Hey, I'm young, I'm talented. Give me the football. I'm going to do good things with it." And that's exactly what he did.
He's going to be
I know I have
next year.
Oh my God, yeah, he's going to be in the 1st round easily, and I'm going to be so mad.
Pickens is good value too. Pickens and Egbuka went really late in a couple of my leagues.
I have like all of the Cowboys offense on here, but like if you really think about it though, nobody really picks those guys, and then they explode every year. They don't do anything because the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, and they fall off. But at least offensively, they've always been one of the most consistent offenses in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dak gets picked. For me, Dak's always getting
really
picked. Yeah, 7, 8 every year. Same thing with Ferguson, 7-8 every year.
I got Ferguson in the 11th round.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's just silly talk.
I'm so serious.
Some of the best waiver claims, as well as some of the best breakout rookies, at the waiver position, when you're on the waiver wire, you are not drafted. You are out there in the abyss. Somebody can pick you up at any time. Sometimes guys bid on you. Sometimes, if you're at the bottom, you're getting picked up first before the teams that are at the top. The winners for waiver claims this year, Kamani Vidal came on.
Yep.
Tyler Algier came on when Bijan Robinson wasn't there. Kayshon Boutte, the Booty Man, had a couple good weeks, right? Jaden Higgins as well started to come on. But bigger names like Rico Dowdle, Kareem Hunt, Colston Loveland, red zone targets. That's what you want from the best waiver claim spot. So for me, it's tough. It's tough to hand this one out, but I will go Rico Dowdle just because for a lot of people, he was either undrafted or drafted and then cut very early in the season and then exploded. So I must say him.
I will definitely agree with you on Rico. Or Michael Wilson, but I will agree with you with Rico because he became the starter and had 2 30-point games just like that. So he's definitely going to be very talented in Carolina. They got a very special running back there. But there's one person on this list that you missed that I think flew under the radar, especially toward the end. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he was Mr. Consistent.
Oh, Jacoby Brissett throwing them dimes, man. He can do it.
Because he was force-feeding Trey McBride, because that's really all they had on their offense.
And Michael Wilson.
Yeah, sorry. And Michael Wilson. But Jacoby Brissett was like one of the most consistent quarterbacks in fantasy this year, which is like crazy because nobody knew. He was 20, 20, 20, 20, 20.
Kyler Murray is not a serious quarterback. Okay.
Well, no, he's playing Battlefield 6 right now. He's playing Black Ops.
Yeah. Yes, some of the breakout rookies. Cam Scatterbo, even though he got hurt, unfortunately, he got hurt. We hate to see that happen to his ankle. I think he's going to be good, though. When he comes back, when he's putting his head down, running through people, if he's staying healthy, he's going to be good.
For sure.
And at that running back position. Kyle Monungai, shout out to Rutgers, man. Jersey strong. JCM, we saw flashes. Omar Hampton before and a little bit after the injury. Cody Marks, another guy whose ankles were getting chopped up this year, but when he was healthy, he was running hard.
Yep.
Travion Henderson. Oh, man, it took forever. He marinated like a nice bowl of wedding soup. But Travion Henderson, another OSU product. I hate OSU, but I love the players. It's a weird thing. He's very, very, very fast. He can catch the ball. He can run people over. He's kind of like a mix of – we were talking about Charbonnet earlier. He's kind of like a mix of that with like kind of what Gainwell's got going on with all the passes he was catching from Rodgers and all the hard third down runs that he was doing with the Eagles while he was here. Travion Henderson's just got this grit about him.
Yeah.
And he's going to very, very soon be in that, right now he's a category below them. But very soon he's going to be in that Jahmyr Gibbs and then Bijan Robinson
I could see it.
Category.
I can definitely see that for sure.
Fantasy, for fantasy.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Because he's got all the talent in the world.
I would even say RJ Harvey is not like quite as quick as Travion Henderson, but I mean, he blew up when J.K. Dobbins went down. He was definitely someone to look out for next year for sure, because I don't know if they'll keep him. I mean, Dobbins has had injury problems his whole career.
When we saw Dobbins go on the IR, we were like, okay, oh yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. Yeah. Yeah, some other guys, some breakout rookies. Ted McMillan was great. Emeka Egbuka was great. Brock was last year, I believe, not this year. Right?
He might have been. I might be wrong.
I think you're tweaking.
I'm tweaking. It's okay. But Tyler Warren will definitely be
Warren was absolutely stellar when he had Daniel Jones. I think he can be a real player for that moving forward. And hey, look, man, I'm a Harold Fannin guy too. He could be. I'm liking Harold Fannin too.
Yeah, even Colston Loveland, even Aronde Gaston. I think Gaskin will be solid. I think Loveland will take over that spot with Kmet. I firmly believe that Caleb Williams will be the first Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. I just don't think it'll be Maybe not next year, maybe the year after.
He
But
missed it by so little, dude. That's
I know
crazy.
he's knocking on the door. I think he will be the quarterback that does it. I think
he missed it by. I think I said it earlier. Missed it by 60 yards or something.
Yeah,
he's so close.
Yeah.
We move to the players that are going to be drafted very, very high next year. These are the guys that we're looking out for. Puka going either 1st overall to 5th overall.
Yeah.
1 to 5.
I could see it. No way. With the year he just had, come on. He might be the 101. He might be the Jamar Chase, like the Jamar Chase type receiver that gets drafted so early.
Dude, like, I'm thinking he might be going 1 or 2, I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think he falls anywhere in that range because of like the JSNs, the Jameer Gibbs, the Bijans.
The way it is with it might go wide receiver, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Honestly.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. Like it really could go JSN, Puka, Jamar, but we'll see. Some with those three, like Puka, Jamar, Jason, like something with those. I'm a running back guy. I like taking running backs early, but it could very well be all 3 wide receivers. Devontae Adams, you got on here. I like that a lot. He always seems to find the end zone. CMC, just so sturdy. If you can get him early next year, definitely do it. Chase Brown, I like him a lot too. And James Cook, I mean, if you can get him too. James Cook has been proven to be versatile throughout his career so far. I'm hoping he hangs on to the football. You got Cam Steadmo and Omarion Hampton on here. There's another name I'm going to throw out there. Blake Corum had an okay year. And I'm thinking that he could be getting some more touches moving forward in that offense. I was talking about fumbles with James Cook. Kyron Williams likes to fumble the ball. Only a couple more of those before angry little elf Sean McVay decides to just commit to the Michigan man, Blake Corum.
Very true.
And give him the ball from here on out. So those are kind of my picks there. You got anybody else you want to throw in there, guys? You're definitely drafting.
I think I'm firmly believing in Shout next year, in Tyler Shout, and I think that Olave is going to get a lot more targets next year. Didn't seem like Olave got many hospital passes, so I think he'll be ready to go. Honestly, I think that Saints team, they're still going to suck, but I mean, for fantasy wise, Olave is going to get his targets. I think who else? Tedero McMillan, and Rico. Honestly, I think the Panthers are only going to get better. I'm assuming they'll draft well. If they draft well, they'll be fine. I think that Panthers offense is going to be really nice. I don't think you draft Bryce Young, but I think you take advantage of Rico and Tedero for sure. And then one more, Javonte Williams, if he stays in Dallas. I don't know how much money we have. I don't think it's much. But I think if we keep Javonte Williams, there's no reason you shouldn't draft him next year. I think for any team, really, unless they have a terrible O-line.
Yeah, Javonte, he was a great value pickup this year. If you want to stick with him next year, he seems like the kind of guy that is going to have a breakout year, and I don't know if he can digress that much. Like, what's his? If you're kind of wondering what's his ceiling, right? If he had that good of a year this year, what's his ceiling? I don't think you need to worry about what's his floor because the Dallas offense has proven that it'll perform. Maybe they're not going to win all their games, but they're going to do you enough points in fantasy, and he's going to get enough opportunities in the red zone. I mean, when that Dallas offense was moving well, and you guys had Ezekiel Elliott, he was scoring a lot. So if you're going to treat your running back like that, then I definitely agree with the Javonte pick as much as I don't want to. I think Saquon you got to go with next year instead. You got to draft the
yeah, of course. Instead. I know Shoddy loves to establish the run game.
Shoddy? Who's Shoddy?
Shoddy. Brian Schottenheimer.
With him. I know.
He loves to establish the run game early. So he makes sure that's a staple of the Cowboys offense before he even touches the ball with Dak at that point. So that's all. I'm just saying.
Some guys to avoid next year. You got Devontae Smith on here because he's wronged you. Boo-hoo. If you don't like Devontae Smith, don't draft him. I agree with Breece Hall if he stays in New York, and I agree with Pollard if he stays in Tennessee. Zay Flowers cannot find the end zone. That seems to be a problem for him week in and week out. And then we also have Marvin Harrison Jr. on here. You're ditching him already. A lot of people ditched him this year, and you're ready to ditch him next year. Anybody else on here that – I mean, obviously BTJ, I hate him. I now have like a crazy grudge against that guy. But is there anybody on here like that for you?
Well, I have the same grudge for DJ Moore at this point because, I mean, he did me so dirty this year. Jalen Waddle also, because who knows what Tyreek Hill is going to do now once after this year's injury. Waddle is inconsistent sometimes. He can show that he can be a valuable wide receiver one somewhere, and then he shows why he shouldn't be playing the wide receiver position. So.
I miss that guy scoring because he does the little penguin celebration. And like the Waddle, like you were doing, but he doesn't really do it anymore because he's sad and Tua's not there and he's not really. And when Tua is there, he's not really there because he's like, you know what I mean? So
I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to think of anyone else that's not on this list that we should be avoiding.
No, I mean I'm agreeing. Keenan Allen, I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. You know what I mean? I'm agreeing with a couple of these guys that you got. Even Quentin Johnson, I'd stay away from. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just there's so many other sturdy guys that you can go with instead of say, a Jalen Waddle, or you're going to look for these teams that have steadfast quarterbacks. Drake May, Matthew Stafford. You want to look for teams Sam Darnold, sturdy, playing good football this year. You want to look for teams with like a good offensive line, like usually the Eagles, maybe not this year, but teams like the Broncos, right, that are going to block for their guys.
Yeah.
Teams like even the Falcons. So it's like,
I would even avoid, honestly, I would probably avoid anybody on the Green Bay Packers. That like receiving core, their receiving core, because they don't they don't get the ball much. It's just
they hang on to Watson. I think maybe him at the flex here and there, but
he's had the health issues too. But I think other than Watson, I feel like even like who's the rookie? Matthew Golden.
Yeah, bro, when they drafted Golden, I was like, wow, I cannot believe that.
They spread the ball too much unless they're giving the ball to Christian Watson. So I mean, I would just be cautious, honestly.
So those are our guys that we're saying stay away from. Now we gave you a lot of guys you should be drafting, a lot of guys you shouldn't be drafting. Talked about some of the breakouts.
Yep.
Talked about league winners and losers. Obviously, we hope that you won your championship, but we're transitioning here away from fantasy football. We're going to talk about the playoff picture a little bit. In the AFC, we have Denver, New England, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Houston, Buffalo, and, of course, the Los Angeles Chargers. In the NFC, we have Seattle, Chicago, Philly, Carolina, Los Angeles, San Francisco. That's right, 2 teams from California, and Green Bay. Now, Noah, you know who my pick is. Yep. I predicted the Broncos were going to get it when they beat us in week, what was it, like 6?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Something like that.
Week 6 or 7? I can't remember.
Mid-season.
Yeah. So the Broncos are a contender. Mm-hmm. Great defense, great pass rush, great O-line, quarterback that can do it with the arm or the feet. It's just a question of if he has the right head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I would say the league favorite is probably either the Patriots or the Seahawks. I predict Denver will get there against the Seahawks. It'll be a 1-versus-1 seed, and I'm going with the Broncos as my pick. As much as I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles, we just have too many problems on the offensive side of the ball right now, and I predict something's going to go wrong defensively, and then it'll snowball. Maybe not against the Niners because we match up nicely against them, but in the following rounds. So I'm eager to hear what you think is going to happen and who you think is going to be your your Super Bowl pick this year.
All right, my predictions. Here we go. Like I said, if this isn't the year that Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl, I don't know if he'll ever do it again. He doesn't have to face Mahomes. He doesn't have to face Allen. He doesn't have to face Lamar. He doesn't have to face Burrow.
Does have to face himself, Padawan.
Those 3 people alone have given him so much trouble in the playoffs. He gets a clean slate of a whole different AFC. I think this is his chance. I don't know if he'll do it. I think that they beat Jacksonville, but I think the winner of them versus New England is going to be who moves on to the Super Bowl. I don't trust Bo Nix enough to move forward. I know that defense is really good, but Bo Nix has only had 1 game of playoff experience. Granted, Drake May's had 0, but it's Drake May, so.
Oh, it's Drake May. Okay.
the MVP runner. He's been playing well, and he hasn't had the greatest receiving core either. I know Stephon Diggs has had an inconsistent year.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Stephon Diggs has been hit or miss. Kayshon Boutte is just kind of there.
On the Bodie main.
I'm not subtracting. I'm just saying. But I think the winner of that Buffalo-New England game will be the one that moves on to the Super Bowl, but it won't matter because the Seahawks are going to win the whole thing.
Wow. Seahawks. Wow. So boring.
I want to believe in Sam Darnold. I think that I want him to prove that he's had back-to-back seasons with a team where he has had 14 wins. So clearly he is a valuable quarterback, and that Seattle defense is one of the best in the NFL. I wanted to say the 49ers because they have been overlooked all year, and Purdy has plenty of playoff experience. But I don't think I could pick them over Seattle. I really don't. I think I have Seattle versus the winner of Buffalo, New England.
Yeah, and then everybody is shocked because ayahuasca man Rodgers leads the Steelers past the number one defense and DeMeco Ryans in Houston and wins the AFC and then wins the Super Bowl. No, I'm just kidding. I think America will be rooting for Rodgers. America will be rooting for Bryce Young. In reality, it feels like a script for Stafford or Knicks, but that's what it's just felt like to me all year. I don't know. But I mean, I'm sticking with Denver, and you're sticking with Seattle. So we're gonna have to see how it goes. Hey, man, wish the Eagles luck.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what you expected, but
just double checking there. Just double checking.
There's a reason I chose the 49ers.
Yes, his fantasy season has been tremendous, and unfortunately, neither of us have any dough to show for it. But we play for the fun. We play.
Yes. We play for the ups and the downs and everything in between.
All right, playoffs are upon us. Go Eagles, and we're going to end it there, folks.